To back to school night at Smith School, September 10th, 2020. My name is Ed Petrella. I'm your child's English language arts teacher this year. I teach on Team 8-2, and I'm also the 8-2 team leader. First and foremost, I want to encourage you to reach out and contact me if you have any questions or concerns about what's going on in the classroom or even how the school schedule is supposed to work. I mean, this is so new to all of us. I think we can lean on each other to get through it and help each other out as much as possible. So my email address is there. I'm available all day through email as we're on the computer. You can also reach me by calling Smith School. However, there's a better chance of me getting back to you faster if you send me an email. If you need some basic school information or course information, you can access my Smith School website. The link to the website will be in this presentation, which I will put on Schoology. Okay, you can also visit Schoology for materials, assignments, links to our virtual classes, and announcements for classes during the week anytime. I update Schoology daily, and we are using it as our main learning management system. So everything that the kids need to know goes right into Schoology, and you can see that as well. Now, the best way to use Schoology for you guys will be once they're available, or the parent accounts. Our tech department has told us those will be available mid-September, so be on the lookout soon for a parent account. In the meantime, you can log in with your child's information to see what's going on in the current classes. The best way to keep track of assignments is to access the calendar and the upcoming feature, which is on the right-hand side of the page. The upcoming feature shows all assignments that have been assigned to your child and the time and the date in which they are due. I'll show you a picture of that in a few seconds. In our class, Schoology is used as an organization tool for different units. Each unit will be housed in a folder, and each folder for those units will have additional folders which break the units down into weeks. We roughly spend about 4 to 6 weeks on each unit. So you'll see that there will be a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so on and so on for each week that we're working on that unit. Now, the assignments for each unit can be found within those weekly folders. You will also notice that I've posted the virtual class links in the update section of Schoology. I'm also sending reminders through the calendar. And so if you take a look here, the top picture shows how Schoology is organized. You'll see Unit 1 is up there for the students. That's the main folder. And then these subfolders, week 1, week 2, 3, and 4, are where the resources and assignments will be housed for the students. On the right-hand side is the upcoming feature that I was referencing in the previous slide. You'll see that there was a virtual class scheduled for yesterday and that the Unit 1 pre-assessment is due September 11th at 11:59 p.m. Now, if you want to click on this little calendar next to the upcoming word or the calendar on the top of the page here, it brings you to the calendar that appears on the bottom of this page. All of these events here are from my Schoology calendar. I have linked my calendar with Smith School events and all of the other classes that I have. So anything that's due or any dates that are important come up on this calendar. So you can access upcoming assignments, dates of classes, even Smith School happenings using the Schoology calendar. Now, the schedule is a little difficult to follow this year, but the way it works, if you aren't aware, there are 2 cohorts at Smith School. There's a blue group and a gold group. The blue group comes to school on Monday and Thursday. The gold group comes to school on Tuesday and Friday. That means there are virtual afternoon sessions for check-ins and extra help when necessary. I'm available from 2:40 to 3:05 for both the blue cohort and the gold cohort on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Students should check in at that time as the attendance is being taken. since it will be a class. I will not assign anything new during that time. That time is mainly to go over concepts taught in class or to help students finish work that we started in class and they didn't have time to finish. On Wednesday, we have a virtual class with all of the students from both cohorts. Now, that day, there is no afternoon session, so the only time your child will spend in class is in the morning when we have regular class time. So the links for all of these classes are posted on Schoology in the update section. And I've also shared the event through Google Calendar. It's a very good tool for the students to use as it organizes the events for them, and it allows them just to press one button to access the classes. Now, the school has asked that we take attendance at all of our virtual sessions and our Wednesday virtual class. So at this point, I'm going to contact home if I notice that a student is missing 2 or more virtual classes. And I understand very well that things pop up, that sometimes we can't get to class, that we have technology issues, and I want to accommodate everybody with any issues that they have. When I'm referring to contacting home, that would mean that the student did not show up for 2 consecutive classes or maybe 2 out of 3 and never reached out or answered an email when I contacted them. I will always contact your child first to see what's going on because I'm mainly concerned with their health and safety at this time. I understand school can be a difficult thing for the students to come to and to attend to. So I'm going to make sure that everything is okay before we make contact with home or let their guidance counselors know that they're not coming to class. That being said, this is what a invitation looks like on your child's Google Calendar. They have to just click the class, and then once they click the event on their calendar, once they click the event, this box pops up, and then they just have to press join Google Meet, and it will bring us to their class. You'll see this is a Schoology page with the links to the classes as well. So that's in the update section, which is here on the left-hand side. Now, my class focuses a lot on communication, and the ability to communicate is very important for everybody. And as this quote says, it's a very important tool in your pursuit of your goals. I like to work with the students on having a growth mindset. We did some growth mindset activities to start out the year, just the idea that you can always improve with hard work and persistence, and doing things the right way will definitely help you in the long run accomplish your goals. And I want to encourage them that though they have weaknesses, they have many strengths that will help them overcome their weaknesses. And once they find their passion, those strengths will just blossom and they'll be able to do whatever they want to do as they get older. So our units of study start next week with Unit 1, Society, Technology, and the Individual. As you see, we have 6 units planned throughout the year. The way that the units are arranged will be they will be reading one unit and they'll be writing components within that reading unit. But then the next unit will be a writing unit based upon what they read in the previous unit. For example, we are going to be reading some dystopian fiction stories in Society, Technology, and the Individual. As they read, they'll be learning about the characteristics of a dystopian society and how individuals and groups have conflicts with each other. And they're going to try to look at what's going on in those books and relate it to the human experience and what happens in their lives, what's going on now, what's happened in the past. Now we'll dive right into the research argument unit where they'll actually look at how technology affects individuals and societies. Right, so our 6 units run about 4 to 6 weeks. Right, that may change depending on the schedule, if things change, if we get back to school full time, which I'm very hopeful for. But I'll keep you updated on that. All of the information on what these units are about can be found on my website. It can also be found on Schoology. There's a course syllabus there with a description of the unit and the goals for the unit. Now, we've really changed the way that we're teaching English language arts at Smith School. We've done a lot of professional development with a lot of consultants on getting out of this old school method of teaching English and just reading books because they're classics, right? To actually producing work that's creative and that critically analyzes what we're reading now. We're reading different types of texts. So we're not concentrating on those old 20th century goals like having clear handwriting and having weekly spelling lists, right? There aren't daily grammar exercises, but we are infusing grammar into our mini lessons and teaching students how to write different types of sentences and how to use words differently. Right? It used to be okay to just be able to read fiction and nonfiction. Now just being able to read is not good enough, right? We understand that the students need to read critically and analyze different forms of texts. They need to be able to read websites and interpret which information is good and which information is not good. And we also work on listening in this class. Listening is a form of communication that the students don't always think about, right? We're going to try to listen attentively for understanding. We're going to ask thoughtful questions. They're going to engage in debates about things. They're going to have to back up their position with evidence and reasoning. So all of these things are a change to our students, but I'm sure they'll be able to grab them. And I'm sure they'll enjoy doing this a lot more than just sitting there and memorizing spelling lists and working on grammar exercises. Right, all of this ties into our profile of a Ramsey graduate. Our goal is really to have students that can adapt to situations that they're in, to reflect on what they're doing, and use those reflections to grow and become better people. And to, we really just want to encourage them to find out what they enjoy to do. And when they find out what they enjoy to do, they'll be able to kind of move up this pyramid and figure out where they want to go in life and what they want to accomplish. So accessing books in our class is going to be a little different this year, given the requirements that we have from the CDC and from the state. So we do have classroom libraries for each unit. It was very generous that we were able to get books for all 6 units. So students have a lot of choices just with the books that I have in my room. Smith School also will have virtual and live book talks for students, which will give them a better idea of what types of books they can read and some suggestions from other students. We have an online database called Destiny. If students want, they can go and they can investigate on their own a book that they might want. There are instructions linked in this presentation here on how to use the database and how to request a book from the Media Center. Students are not allowed to go in and browse for books anymore. They have to use Destiny to check out a book. And finally, if they are checking out a book, just understand that when the book is returned, I will be sanitizing the book and putting it in an area will be unavailable to other students for at least 3 days. And so we're being as safe as possible with physical copies. We're also encouraging students to try ebooks, audiobooks, and electronic copies of texts. Right, our audiobooks are available through the Media Center. There are also audiobooks available through the public library system that we can work on getting for your child if necessary. We have an app on the iPad called Sora. It has a list of all the ebooks that are available in the Media Center. There's a link to the tutorial on how to use Sora in this presentation as well. I have a lot of audiobooks because I teach students with disabilities. So whenever those are available, I share them with the students. I have a lot of electronic copies of things as well, so students can use the speech-to-text feature on their iPad if they want it read to them. Our assignments and grading system are consistent with what you've seen in the past in English language arts. For 8th grade, each assignment is given a point value. The cumulative grade will be points earned over points possible. We have 4 different grading categories in 8th grade. It's the summative assessments, which are larger assessments, maybe an assessment for the whole unit or a larger writing assignment. We have formative assessments, which are smaller check-ins to make sure the students are understanding what they're doing and fulfilling the obligations of class of learning the goals and the strategies. There will be some independent work, and there will be a few homework grades. Right? I will post at least 1 grade per week on the parent portal. Homework will mainly be to read or write daily. I will not require students to learn new content for homework. They might have to complete some classwork. They might have to do an exit ticket, which will be a reflection of the work that we did, how they feel about it, whether they're comfortable or they need more review, or homework might just be reviewing concepts that we talked about in class. Any homework will be communicated through Schoology. Just know that sometimes I think homework can be a burden for students, and I would hate to see them do a lot of work at home and do it incorrectly and come back to school and have to do it again. So my goal is to have students understand what we do in class so that they can use that information the next day. If you see that your child is sitting home and doing English language arts work other than reading, for an extensive amount of time, please contact me so we can discuss why that is happening. So I want to thank you for viewing this presentation, for coming to back to school night, and for just being there for the community. It's a very difficult time, but I feel like we can get through this together. And I encourage you again to reach out if you need me for anything. If you need some support for your child, please ask. I'm there for you guys. Thank you very much and have a good night.